As the DS brand points out, beyond the motor industry, 3 of the world's top 5 luxury brands are French. Why shouldn't Gallic style be equally desirable when it comes to cars? Perhaps it will be with this one, the first of the company's very own designs, the DS7 Crossback premium mid-sized SUV.
And on the road, well, at last with this DS7 Crossback model, we've got a car from this brand that rides as a DS model should. The company has a history of supple spring that goes all the way back to the original 50s DS saloon with its groundbreaking hydropneumatic suspension. This car hasn't got anything quite as complex as that, but its DS Active Scan camera-driven adaptive damping setup does set fresh class standards. It's able to anticipate bumps and undulations before you even get to them, and allows this Crossback to waft over things like potholes and speed humps with silken ease. Now, this setup only works when you switch it into the comfort driving mode that's provided as an integral part of that active suspension package. The other settings, which are included regardless of your DS7 spec, are normal, eco and sport. It is a bit of a pity that Active Scan doesn't work in sport, because it would give this French contender an extra sure-footedness through fast secondary road corners that it currently lacks. Still, that isn't really the kind of driving that this car responds particularly well to. No, the DS7 is at its best when you're wafting along and enjoying this Gallic model's more relaxed approach to life. That's something that you'll be better equipped for if, like most DS7 buyers, you opt for the 2-litre BlueHDi 180 diesel power plant that we're trying here. Now, like all the conventional engines fitted to this car, it drives only through the front wheels. A mandatory part of the BlueHDi 180 package is the brand's latest E-TENSE automatic transmission, which assists efficiency and allows this variant to return 57.6 mpg on the combined cycle and 128 grams per kilometre of CO2. As for the other engines on offer, well, at entry level there are 2 130 HP options, a PureTech petrol unit and a 1.5 litre BlueHDi diesel. Further up the range sit auto-orientated PureTech 180 and PureTech 225 derivatives, both of which use versions of the same 1.6 litre THP petrol turbo power plant, and that also features in the clever E-TENSE 4x4 petrol-electric plug-in hybrid model. Now, this electrified flagship derivative is the only DS7 variant to feature all-wheel traction, but across the lineup you can get an optional grip control system which optimises front-wheel grip for light off-road use. It wasn't difficult to predict that this DS7 would be somewhat conventional in form. The DS brand has, after all, had its fingers burnt in recent years with innovative-looking DS4 and DS5 hatchback models that customers largely didn't want. What it seems the market prefers is familiar shaping spiced up with a few extra stylised features, which is the formula that the Gallic brand followed with its wildly successful DS3 Sporty Super Mini. So that's what we've got once again here. To be fair, the detailing is very nicely done, particularly here at the front end, the look of which was inspired by the avant-garde DS Divine concept car of 2014. I particularly like these exotically intricate DS Active Vision LED headlamps, which emit a purple light when the car's unlocked, before pivoting by 180 degrees. That's in a nod to the original 50s DS model's clever swivelling front lights. The brand saves its boldest flourishes, though, for the interior, which is intended to be an extrovert celebration of everything that's cutting edge in French fashion. Alcantara, open-pore wood inlays and leather feature in copious quantities, appropriate to the Parisian-themed trim package you've chosen. Even the Technofest that has to rather incongruously fit in around all this frippery can't escape the Louis Vuitton treatment. So the supersized 12-inch infotainment touchscreen that struggles to fit in at the top of the centre stack here gets a strange barrel-style, crystal-like centre volume dial, and like this 12-inch instrument binnacle TFT monitor, it can be configured via a DS sensorial drive feature to display its information in shades of either cashmere or titanium. Time to take a seat in the rear. Even for a 6-footer sitting behind quite a lanky front seat occupant, the legroom on offer should be quite sufficient. Finally, let's take a look in the boot. Now here we've got the powered foot swipe activated tailgate that on mainstream models comes as part of the easy access pack. You don't really need it though, because this hatch is actually quite light to lift. Once it is raised, an impressively large 555 litre capacity is revealed. That's definitely more D segment than C segment. Charismatic, elegant and satisfyingly rare, the DS7 Crossback does indeed bring something different to the upper class part of the mid-sized SUV segment. Now in some respects the execution isn't perfect, but then as we've remarked before when reviewing this boutique French maker's products and considering its competitors, there is something, well, rather soulless and clinical about perfection. The DS brand is about a different spirit, a different way to go. Other marques have promised that. With this car though, this one delivers it.